Heat 1, and it's drama right from the start as Ben Mould is sent tumbling onto the centre of the track. Referee Mr. Legg on hand, blows his whistle, and he's called them all back for a restart of the race, which lines up with Ben Mould and Luke Drazy for the Aces, Paul Hurd and Dominic Richardsky for the Birmingham team, and that's a better start there, a cleaner start. Ben Mould goes straight away into the lead for the home Wolverhampton team, and he's followed by the Pole Dominic Richardsky. The Birmingham captain Paul Hurd tucked in there tactically in third place, holding off the efforts of Luke Drazy for the Wolverhampton team in fourth. So at the start of the match it's all square with a 5-5 result, with a win for the popular young Welshman Ben Mould, and he's followed home by the two Birmingham riders, who take 5 points for their effort, and Roger Ellis, the team manager, motivating his riders for Heat 2 there. You see Gavin Wheeler, who is a former British champion, and he's lining up against the Birmingham pairing of Jack Harold and Nathan Groves. What can Wolverhampton do then in Heat number 2? As the tapes rise, and it's a powerful start by Wheeler from gate 4 there, but Jack Harold, the young Welshman, holding him off for Birmingham and takes an early lead in the race. And it's Scott Doherty, the other Wolverhampton rider, who's tucked in into third place ahead of the Birmingham rider Nathan Groves. So it's a 5-5 race position as they come around with 2 laps to go. Wheeler still looking for an opportunity to pass Jack Harold, but at the moment the young Welshman still holding on to it. Wheeler just finding a little gap there, coming out of bend 4 and coming through superbly into the last lap to take it over. So now Wolverhampton have a 6-4 race advantage. Into the last bend they go, and Scott Doherty also looking for a gap, finds the same gap and comes through to take second place behind Gavin Wheeler for a maximum 7-3 race win for Wolverhampton. Harold there relegated on the last bend, and here you see that pass by Wheeler coming through, the all-important pass in the race, and it turns a drawn race into a 7-3. Although Mike Legg now seems to have excluded Gavin Wheeler. What's that all about?
You know, Gavin had gone a bit slow, so he passed me, come at the inside of me, he made a good pass, but he should have just got away. He slowed down for me, and you know, the result was he was excluded. I think that was a good decision.
Highly controversial end to Heat 2 then, as in fact it's a 6-3 race win to Birmingham with that exclusion to Gavin Wheeler. Can Wensfield hit back in Heat 3? Here they are lined up at the tapes then, and it's Lee Harris on gate 1, the talisman for the Wolverhampton team. He's out in front from the Birmingham pairing of Chris Timms and Scott Millward. Harris under pressure from Timms, and this is another pretty physical race there as Harris and Timms clash on the back straight. Timms takes a tumble, rather theatrical gesture towards the referee there, but it's earned Lee Harris an exclusion there, as the race winner now looks like being Scott Millward. Timms has picked himself up for the third place. In between those two riders we've got the Wensfield rider Ricky Johnson, but Lee Harris already on his way back to the pits, having been controversially excluded there in heat number 3 by referee Mr. Legg, and it looks like another race win for Birmingham, this time by 6 points to 3. And here you see the reason for that exclusion. There was definitely an elbow there, but I think certainly Chris Timms seems to have made the most of it. Let's hear from Lee.
Well, it's like diving in football. The ref I came across, and Chris Timms took the easy route to just jump on the grass, and the ref gave him the benefit of the doubt. He's done it before on a number of occasions, so you can't blame him.
Well, we're on to Heat 4, and there's plenty of early controversy in this match as Birmingham take a lead by 17 points to 11. They'll be very pleased with that. And Heat 4, they've got the fast-starting Marcus Wadhams representing them, and here he is on gate position number 3, coming right round and living up to his jet-propelled start. And it's Dominic Richardsky in amongst the action for the Birmingham team there, but he gets soon relegated to the back as the Birmingham rider Marcus Wadhams continuing to lead the race. Richardsky there gets the better of his opponent Luke Drazy, who takes a bit of a tumble, leaves Birmingham with another race win in prospect as they hold on to a 6-4 now, with Wadhams leading it up from Chris Jukes. Dominic Ricardski getting the better of his opponent Luke Drazy for Wolverhampton, and that means that Birmingham take a 6-4 race win to lead by 23 points to 15. And here's the reason for that earlier tumble by Luke Drazy. He tries to cramp the style of the young pole and takes a tumble. So on to heat 5. How much more drama are we going to get early on here? It's Paul Hurd, the captain for Birmingham, who is the standout rider in this race, and here he is on gate position number 2. Mark Griffiths for Wolverhampton takes an early lead, and it's the Welshman Ben Mould in 3rd place for Wolverhampton. They're all very, very tightly bunched, as at the moment Wolverhampton holding on to a 6-4 race advantage. And Mark Griffiths, the wily veteran, knows this circuit very well indeed, but he's caught napping there by Hurd, who comes through in fine style. What a speedy young man this Birmingham rider is. The captain riding from the number 8 position today, and he's out in front. Don't think they're going to catch him now, but Wolverhampton having to consolidate here by holding on to 2nd and 3rd positions, with Griffiths and Mould holding off the efforts in 4th place there of the Birmingham rider, and that's Conrad Pitek. Here's the pass then, and that's what earns Paul Hurd the race win. Fine pass. So as he comes back to the pits to receive the congratulations of Chris Timms, his teammate there, Birmingham are buoyed up by their advantage as we go into heat number 6. And it's Ricky Johnson and Lee Ayres for Wensfield this time. And already we've seen the exclusion of Nathan Groves for moving at the start, and it's 3 riders only, as Jack Harold is the lone representative of the Birmingham team, as Wolverhampton there looking to capitalise. You can see some team riding going on with Lee Ayres there looking for his team partner Ricky Johnson. He gets him through, and a much needed maximum heat advantage in prospect here for Wolverhampton, as it's Ricky Johnson in the lead for Wolverhampton. Lee Ayres in 2nd place knows every inch of this track. I don't think he's going to surrender any sort of advantage to young Jack Harold, and it looks like a 7-2 race victory to bring Wolverhampton back into it. They're still trailed by 3 points, but it's 30 now to Birmingham and 27 to Wolverhampton. Plenty of interest in this local derby match here as we go into heat 9, the last one before the interval, and Birmingham will be hoping that they can hold on to their 3-point advantage. They've got just the rider to do it in Marcus Wadhams. He comes out here. We know how fast he is from the starting gate. Wolverhampton, with their pairing of Chris Jukes and Ricky Johnson, we're hoping to get the better of him. Nathan Groves is the other rider for Birmingham, as Wolverhampton line up from the inside starting gate positions, and of course after this race there'll be an interval, a time for the riders to draw breath, but this is an all-important race as they prepare themselves. Referee Mr. Legg putting them under starters' orders. And what can we expect from Marcus Wadhams from gate 4? Well, we can see exactly what we thought would happen. Wadhams is away into the lead, Chris Jukes in 2nd place, and importantly the Birmingham rider there in 3rd place taking a tumble. It looked like he had 3rd place, but Nathan Groves just drops it on the bend, and it leaves Wolverhampton with the minor places behind Marcus Wadhams. So it's going to be another drawn race, and the 3-point margin between the two teams is going to be held as we go into the interval. Well, let's hear what the riders are saying in the pits. We'll first of all hear from Marcus Wadhams.
I think the meeting's going well. You know, we've made a few mistakes, but on the whole I think we're doing a good job. Just need to keep winning, keep winning off the outside gates, and that's it basically. Just keep out, because I think we've got the edge on fitness, you see, so we try and carry that through to the second half.
We are on schedule. This is going well. This is going as we wanted it to. We're a couple of points up. That's all we needed to be, because we know we're stronger in second half. Second half is ours. Let's take it to them. Just keep on the plan. Keep on going the way we are. We'll win. Don't worry about anything else. We will win this now.
Come on, guys. We're on the ball, man. They can't even keep up with us all in.
Yeah.
Come on 1, 3, 2, 1. Come on!
I'm sure Wensfield feel they're not out of it. Let's have another word with Lee Ayres.
Definitely, you know, it's anybody's game. I think that's proven in the first half. The points and big heat wins have gone either way, so it's just one big heat win would take us back into the match, so not a problem.
Well, straight back with the racing action, and immediately Lee Ayres has got the opportunity to put Wolverhampton back in this match, which he had in this race, but he's got Paul Hurd as an opponent. In fact, Ayres gets a brilliant start from gate 4. Hurd now is in pursuit of the Wolverhampton rider. Oh, and what a superb pass that is by Hurd there. It's not very often that riders come here and relegate Lee Ayres to the back with a pass like that. So it's Hurd leading from Ayres. Mark Griffiths holding on to third place ahead of Jack Harold, but the all-important race winner this time looks like it's going to be the Birmingham rider. Is Lee Ayres, multi-British champion. Paul Hurd yet to win that title, but the way he's riding this season, I'm sure it's not going to be long before this young man gets to the top of the British rostrum with passes like this. Lee Ayres there just leaving a little bit too much room. He had plenty of speed, but Hurd had the tighter line, and he came through to take a crucial race win, and that keeps Birmingham's 3-point advantage as they start the second half. And we move now to heat number 11. In this one, we've got the strong Doherty-Wheeler pairing for Wolverhampton. They're out against Chris Timms and Scott Millward, and it's Wolverhampton who have the advantage of the inside starts, although that advantage looks to have been eroded there because Scott Doherty quite clearly was moving under starters' orders, and he's got his marching orders by the referee, and it means that Gavin Wheeler is going to be outnumbered 2-1 in the restart of the race. Both the Birmingham riders, of course, eligible, cleaning off their tyres and getting a little bit of a pep talk from team management, and Gavin Wheeler is going to be facing the Timms-Millward pairing on his own. He has got the advantage of gate position number 1, but he's going to come under pressure, I'm quite sure, in the restart of heat number 11. Away they go, and Wheeler does come under pressure. In fact, he finds himself pushed onto the centre of the track by Scott Millward. The whistle immediately blows, and the riders are going to have to come around for another attempt to start the race as they once again make sure those tyres are nice and clean, and they can get the best possible start in what will be the third attempt to start heat number 11. Well, here they are then, once again, coming up to start the race. Wheeler on gate 1, Millward 2, and Chris Timms on 4. Into the first bend they go. Great start by Timms there. Wheeler not too happy. In fact, comes together with Millward there, and they clash. Millward takes a tumble, and once again, referee Mr. Legg called into action. I've got a feeling, yes, he's pointed to Gavin Wheeler. Well, that is a real blow for Wolverhampton, because Wheeler is ordered back to the pits, and once again you can see why here on this restart. He gets rather pushed out of it by Timms, and takes his frustration out on Millward, leaving just the 2 Birmingham riders only to complete the token 1 lap to get a maximum 7-0 race win. They'll never get easier points than this in a match, and it suddenly turns the match from very close with Birmingham leading by 3 points. Then they take a 7-0 to have a 10-point lead by 57 points to 47. How are Wolverhampton going to find their way back from this one? I'm not quite sure that they've got the resources to do that, but we'll have to find out. Well, it's not looking any easier for Wolverhampton in Heat 12, because Marcus Wadham's there, exchanging a few remarks with his off-track buddy Ben Mould. I'm sure they'll be deadly protagonists when it comes to the racing now in this one, and Birmingham have the inside starting positions, and it's Wadham's who makes an immediate impression with a race lead, and Mould in second place, Jack Harold filling in third place ahead of Luke Drazy. So Mould there getting out of shape. Oh, almost catching the referee there as he has a right old shoulder charge on Jack Howard, and Mould is going to get his marching orders here, I'm quite sure. There's plenty of physical contact in Cycle Speedway, but I think Ben Mould there just overstepped the mark, and he's going to take no further part in this race as he finds his way back to the pits. Sure, that's going to cause a bit more controversy, because you can see that Mould just got out of shape there trying to attack Wadhams, and immediately tries to block off any attempt by Harold to get through, and well, Harold ends up in a big heat, not for the first time in this match, probably not for the last. Mould trying to protest his innocence to the referee, but the referee having none of it, and certainly Mr. Legg there, a busy man today. And here comes Lee Ayres now to protest on behalf of Wolverhampton, trying to give his version of events. I'm quite certain it's going to cut no ice with the ref. He's made his decision, and he seems to be suggesting that Lee should make his way quietly back to the pits and await the rerun, which of course is going to be with 3 riders only, Ben Mould excluded. So extra pressure on that young man in the middle of the picture there, Luke Drazy, the sole representative of Wolverhampton team in the restart of Heat 12, and I think his best tactic here is just to sit maybe for second place, let Wadhams go, and probably what he's going to do. Look, he's just taking out Harold to give himself a bit of breathing space, and it's Wadhams then leading the race up for Birmingham. Drazy versus Harold for minor places. Drazy for Wolverhampton then, coming under pressure now from Jack Harold, and once again Harold finds himself on the track, and Drazy in fact also loses it. So both riders there involved in that battle for minor places, having to pick themselves up. Drazy was the first one up, and he's going to take the 3 points for a second place for Wolverhampton, but Wadhams is the race winner, a 6-3 race win for them, and they all of a sudden find themselves 13 points to the good, having led by a modest 3 points at the interval. It's going to take something for Wolverhampton to get their way back into this match, I'm quite sure. Well, Heat 13 gives Wolverhampton another opportunity to try and haul themselves back into the match. It's not gone well for them so far in the second half, but they've got Lee Ayres and Mark Griffiths, the experienced pairing, and they're on the inside starting gate positions against the all-Polish pair and for Birmingham. And it's Griffiths who immediately makes an impression on the first bend, and Lee Ayres there challenging Rychardski and takes him wide and takes over second place. The 2 Polish riders, Pintek and Rychardski, trailing at the back behind the experienced Wolverhampton pairing of Griffiths and Ayres. And how do Wolves need this 7-3 to try and reduce that 13-point deficit? Ayres there then making sure he shuts off any way back for Birmingham, and he joins Griffiths for a 7-3, which does close the margin, but it's still 57 to Wolverhampton and 66 to Birmingham. You see there what a brilliant first lap that was by Ayres. First of all takes care of one Birmingham rider, then comes through to take the other, and that made all the difference. It turned a 5-5 into a 7-3 maximum win. Well, Heat 14 could give Birmingham the opportunity to hit straight back with a race win of their own, because they've got their top 2 riders. They've got Paul Hurd, their inspirational captain, and Chris Timms, and they form a powerful pairing in Heat 14 on the inside starting gates against the Wolverhampton pairing of Chris Dukes, the Wolves skipper, and Gavin Wheeler. Well, we've already seen these riders involved in plenty of excitement on the track today, and I'm sure we're going to have some more of it this time as the tapes go up. And well, there's a surprise, because Wheeler has actually made the gate on Paul Hurd, and draws on all his years of experience to head into an early advantage, as Timms now is in second place, challenging Wheeler, and Hurd holding off the efforts of Dukes at the back. Timms then challenging Wheeler, and it's currently a 5-5. Timms catches Wheeler's back wheel there and certainly slows the Wolverhampton rider right down, and that allows Hurd to come through and take over the lead. Wheeler certainly not very happy about that, and Timms falling off his bike on the pit's turn, but the important development in that race for Birmingham was that Paul Hurd came through and was able to take the checkered flag and a race win. Wolverhampton taking the minor places. They might have expected more, and certainly Gavin Wheeler will feel that he was deprived of the lead in that race by Chris Timms, because Timms clearly caught his wheel, took all his momentum away, and Wheeler, I don't think, would be overly happy, although he sportingly comes back into the pits and extends a hand to Paul Hurd, congratulating him on that. I don't think he's going to extend the hand to Chris Timms. In fact, a little bit of argy-bargy going on there between the two of them, and they're having to be separated, words exchanged, but all in the heat of the moment. They do get themselves pumped up in Cycle Speedway, and I'm sure they'll settle down and get back on the track and carry on regardless. Well, the team managers are taking issue with the referee. Let's see what they got to say.
Yeah, just cool it down. Yeah. I'm walking across to the announcers. I haven't seen anything until I look around and see you all piled up there, so I can't act on hearsay, all right? Okay?
Mark, and that wasn't a run there?
No, carry on. We're just talking about that incident there, all right?
That wasn't a run there.
We're just talking
no
about
contact with the body whatsoever. He just rammed his bike.
That's it. End of talk. All right.
Thanks for that.
Well, we're into the penultimate race now, Heat 17, and Wensfield Wolverhampton team have got a 7-point deficit. It's got to be all or nothing in this one. They have to go for a maximum 7-3 to have any chance of rescuing late in the proceedings, and they've got the pairing of Chris Dukes and Gavin Wheeler, and Wheeler there showing his first bend experience by gaining round Marcus Wadhams. That takes some doing, and Wensfield are cheering this one because Wolverhampton team are taking a 7-3, and this is going to put them right back in the melting pot as we look towards the final race. Wheeler and Dukes 7-3 ahead of the Birmingham pairing of Marcus Wadhams, dropping points uncharacteristically there, and Nathan Groves. Well, that certainly brought the match back to life, and it puts it all down to the final race. Wheeler there was the difference on the first bend. You can see how he uses his experience, his upper body manoeuvre there. Completely knocked Wadhams out of his stride, and he's away, and that's a race win which Wolverhampton desperately needed to make a match of it. So it's Heat 18, the final race, and quite simply, Wolverhampton must get a 7-3 maximum race win if they're to win this match. Birmingham can afford to draw the race and still take the league points, and they've got their ace pairing in Paul Hurd and Chris Timms, and they've got the advantage of gates 1 and 3. It's Lee Ayres and Mark Griffiths for Wolverhampton, and up go the tapes. Plenty of elbows flying on the first bend, but importantly for Birmingham, their skipper Paul Hurd holds on to his gate 1 position under pressure from Lee Ayres, and at the same time, for third place, Chris Timms is holding off the efforts of Mark Griffiths. So it looks like it's a 6-4 on the cards at the moment. That will be quite enough. That will in fact give Birmingham a 5-point match win, but there's still laps to do at the moment, with Hurd still continuing to lead up the race. This would certainly cause an upset because Wolverhampton pretty well unbeatable on their home track, and local rivals to come here and pick up the league points. That would certainly be a feather in their cap, as Paul Hurd there celebrates as he crosses the line with a race win, and it's a 6-4 to Birmingham, and they're pleased as punch about that one as they go back to the pits. Unfortunately for Wolverhampton, Lee Ayres unable to rescue it in the last race there, and there's the celebrations that are going on as Birmingham pull off a shock result of the day. And we're going to hear now from Roger Ellis, the Wolverhampton team manager, but first, Paul Hurd.
I'm absolutely over the moon. I mean, every single one of the lads did their job. We just picked points off and when we should have. We had a really good first half. I mean, we always pull it off in the second half, and I mean, we did it in the end. I mean, it was a tight the last heat, but we managed to pull it off. Really deserved it. I mean, this is a really hard place to come.
We had to chase the match all the time, you know, and it was always going to be tough. These are a good team, Birmingham are, and you know they've got to be contenders for the title, especially after winning today.